everyone.
Hello.
I'm sorting some stuff out. This always seems to happen. But it's that. Well, we're here.
Welcome in to our virtual write-in today. This is Lauren, one of our awesome interns.
This is Maya, and she's the guest here to help us write.
Hey. And so if you guys don't already know, virtual write-ins are an opportunity for us all to come together and work on our writing. Lauren and I are going to tee up a couple prompts throughout this hour. You definitely do not need to follow the prompts. They're just guides for your story. And through those, we'll do a couple sprints. So we'll set a time limit, we'll get to writing, and then we'll interact with you guys, hear what your word counts are, some awesome story, plot twists, all that fun stuff.
Yep, I think she summed it up pretty darn well. I'm producing today, so I may or may not be chatty, but if you see any official Nano things in the chat window, that's me today. They gave me control. Maybe it'll go well, I hope. And it looks like there's some new faces just starting out. One thing Maya might not have touched on is that nothing is guaranteed. No, that's not what I was going to say. Nothing is required. So if you want to throw out the prompts that we've suggested, feel free to. If you're almost at the end of what you're working on today and you really just want to tunnel vision it, that's fine too.
Get to it.
But today's about some things that might help you out, given that we're coming to a close of the month. So thank you, comments. I did get a haircut. So we're going to do a warm-up while everybody's rounding. And it is about plot twists. So Anchor Crab posted something in Adoption Society plot twist thread and said, some of the main characters' memories have been altered, tampered with, or are just plain wrong. Things didn't happen the way they remember it. So we want you to write about that for the next 5 minutes, and we'll call time right before, at about 4 minutes. So you get a heads up. So let's do this. Well, it seems that Tim has taken over our producing, so I'll switch back to my name. We've got about a minute left, so wrap up those thoughts, but keep writing. That's time. Shelby changed my alarm several virtual write-ins ago. I will change that back because it makes me want to go to bed or something. Sleepy time jam.
It matches the birds chirping outside.
It's called Twinkle.
It's nice.
I think we'll go with something like Uplift
Oh,
next
yeah.
time. Okay, we're setting that one in. And the birds are not coming from inside your house. Don't scare them, Tim. Although that movie terrified me as a child.
The birds.
So, the birds return. I met Tippi Hedren, and she taped her fingers together so she didn't have to shake hands or sign autographs. She said
That's
were
one
broken,
way.
but I don't think it was true. All right, so it seems like one person has decided to give us some story. If anybody else wants to, that'd be great. Sun Wukong EX said, Magi Baba had Cheshire's brain in the vice grips she referred to as fingers, and she was intent on doing some remodeling. His aspirations, his friendships, his own convictions were twisted like taffy. I love that you constantly post as you're writing because I secretly pull them aside so I can read them with some continuity and then we can share them later. So if you guys are wondering what the theme of today is, it is denouements. So the warm-up was about plot twists, but basically a denouement is the final part of a play, movie, or narrative in which the strands of the plot are drawn together and matters are explained or resolved. So if you're coming to the end of your piece, like so many of you seem to be, maybe it's relevant. And we've come up with about 4 main ones in categories for today. The first one was plot twist, and the next 3 are happily ever after, mo problems, aka a sequel, and bad guy wins. So, do you want to take us towards the first one?
Let's get into our first sprint. This one will be 10 minutes, happily ever after. Here's your prompt for 10 minutes. In the final hour, all of your main character's problems are resolved. Write a cheeseball ending that concludes with happily ever after.
So 10 minutes, and you'll have some uplift timer at the end of it. Darn it. There's a minute left. I'll give you an extra. Will you be in charge of this? It's my turn.
All right. That's 10 minutes.
10 minutes. You did 10 minutes of writing.
Whoop, whoop.
Or 10 minutes of
Cheese.
cheeseballs. That was really hard for me because all of my short stories in my novel-length compendium of short stories ends badly.
Oh, so Happily Ever After.
Happily Ever After was... I wrote Happily Ever After assuming that everything preceding it would just kind of come out, and I really just got to Happily Ever After. And then I wrote a thing that was about to end sadly, and I was like, no, wait, it says Happily Below. Oops.
It'll all work out. More plot twists.
More plot twists.
I really like the sentence from Aubrey Farnsworth. No, really, dancing does improve cooking. I see there is only one way to persuade you. Landon proceeded to dance the most awkward and embarrassing dance around the kitchen. I wonder what that would be. Probably something like this. I don't know. Like a little sprinkler.
It's funny because I also pulled aside an Aubrey Farnsworth piece, but it was about someone looking like they needed to use the restroom. This person is just getting the short end of the stick or picking the short straw or some idiom like that. Your MC is not stoked, or whoever they're berating. Whoa! We've got everybody putting out their word counts.
Awesome.
We've got 115, 133, 227,
478.
Darn,
wow.
That's amazing. You guys are killing it. And whooping me with my 3. I feel like this is an auction house. Can we get a 500? 500 going once, going twice, 521. Like, you guys should do that with us sometime. That'd be hilarious.
That would be pretty cool.
Some other crazy contributions. We've got Elizabeth Walker saying, no, it's what she told me in between her telling off the courtsman and dragging a kingsman around like a lost puppy.
I like picturing that. That's good.
Yeah.
Very descriptive.
Very collar and...
Yeah.
Melanie Hannon, one of your MCs, decided she wanted a haircut without telling you beforehand. Typical. I didn't tell myself beforehand. It was planned.
I like Caitlin Cummins coming up with a complete opposite of the end she intended. Together, their love and creativity could never die, and they could conquer any obstacle. Very hopeful.
Cass Morin, who I haven't seen contribute thus far, says, you are more than just a girl. Do not let it make you believe you stopped caring. Sarah averted her eyes to stare down the endless walkway. What if I did? Then everyone you love dies. Happily Ever After. I added that extra thing. Everyone you love dies.
There was some cheese in there.
Happily Ever After. Maybe that's what needed to happen. And I think eye strain is the best cause for a 12-year-old's headache.
Yeah, it's probably true.
I think pregnancy is not the best cause of a 12-year-old's headache. Although I love that everybody's contributing to help each other out in here.
Voices of experience. All right, so let's jump in to our next sprint, Mo Problems, aka the sequel. So you guys got 10 minutes, and we'll keep time this time, we promise.
Maya will keep time.
So your main character is close to solving a pivotal problem when the target moves. Introduce an element that creates another hurdle, question, or potential for a sequel. 10 minutes. Go. All right, guys, about 1 minute left.
Sounds like a Harvest Moon soundtrack. Did you ever play that game? It's about farming. I really liked it.
So that was 10 minutes. We'd love some fun quips and quotes or word counts. Shoot them at us.
Some people have just been catching us off guard. It has been a giggle stream today.
It's true. Maybe the evil laugh will come out in full force later. We'll see.
Well, in the last one, probably.
Oh, I guess they're posted ahead of time.
We're not giving away any secrets, so
Spoilers.
Amanda Weaver, if you don't want a sequel, that's fine too. Mostly, I wrote this prompt so that at some point you could conversationally say dun dun dun, but I did it for you just now.
Yeah, it's good.
So you want to read some of these? Because I've been keeping tabs, but so have you.
I really like these two in a row. I'm going to read them together from Cass Morin. Sarah took in the panes of glass surrounding them in a slow turn. Wood flooring underneath her feet squeaked as her soles scraped across it. It appeared to be a loft apartment on the beach, but she'd learned enough by now to know not to trust her own eyes.
Bobo Bottle 2, love that username, says, the humans found out about Tula, the main character, and then did a bunch of stuff, and they know about Tula, they're coming, the humans are coming.
The humans are coming!
But what is the alternative to human in this story? That I'm very curious about.
Yeah.
A civilization of blobbies and then humans, I bet.
Blobby. Who does have eyes.
Who has eyes, which I pet. Don't ever touch someone's eye. I know that was a fad for a minute in Japan or something. Don't lick an eye. Don't touch an eye.
Mm-mm.
Don't touch Blobby's eyes.
Mm-mm.
He doesn't like it. Mr. Books, which is also a great username, says, poison. He checks his arm. The scrape he sustained from the start is still an angry red in color. It won't do anything to you if it hasn't already, Alias says. Now may I go? If I may go. I'll wear my glasses next time. Sorry, I butchered that, Mr. Books.
I like this one from Crystal Latchman. I felt the blood rush out of my head. I swallowed the lump in my throat, and the fear was so real in my body, so physical. I began thrashing at the restraints again. Will character get out? I don't know. Sequel!
Sequel! Kaylin Hickson. Blade stepped towards her, his hand outstretched. But I still have one last trick up my sleeve. Morgana rolled up her shirt sleeve, revealing a fat scar. The world exploded.
Nice.
So if that's leading to the sequel, is it about how the world then reassembles? Like very Big Bang? Or is it what happens after the world's exploded?
Or maybe it's a metaphor.
I love those stories.
Her world exploded.
Yeah.
No, I guess it's the world exploded.
That'd be so cool, though, because, sometimes there are stories like what happens after the superhero saves the day. There's just they kind of bum around and ride on the coattails of fame for a while.
Yeah. Or what if the sequel becomes a prequel
And then
And we
there's
know
time
all
travel.
along the world's going to explode.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Keep that in mind, Caitlin Hicks, and we're waiting to read that. It's up to you. Should we do another sprint? Probably.
Yeah.
We're gonna. Otherwise, we'll chat until the time is up, and that's no good. That's very good.
Yeah.
But also, I love that somebody heard the yelling that was happening outside, just because that's the reason we were laughing, in case you were wondering. And Tim, because Tim is very funny. Okay, so sprint 3, hot off the press. Bad guy wins. So for about 10 minutes, we're gonna have you. Well, actually, I want to attribute this to the correct person first. Write and know in the Adoption Society plot twist thread suggested this prompt. Says the antagonist explains his/her plan/perspective, and it makes perfect, reasonable sense to the protagonist. Suddenly, the evil mastermind doesn't seem so evil. So 10 minutes figuring out that bad guys aren't so bad. And your main character discovers this. Maya on the clock.
Oh, that's right. I'm responsible. All right.
Maya on the clock.
10 minutes starts now. All right, you got 1 minute left. Exactly 1 minute.
Ring card girl.
I feel like we should just have really short sprints and a lot of them so we can dance like this more often.
Oh my goodness. We're waiting for the time to run out so we could say, yay, Bobo Model 2! Bobo,
Congrats.
you go, Glenn Bobo.
Yeah, ooh, that's good. I like
Go,
it.
Bobo, go.
I like it.
Go Speed Bobo. Go Speed Bobo.
Go Speed
Go Speed
Bobo.
Bobo.
Right?
Speed Bobo. That's the Grease Bobo. I was thinking
Grease
Speed,
Bobo.
Speed Racer Bobo.
Yeah, I just, mixed them all up together. So, actually, one of Bobo's sentences that I thought was awesome that I wanted to read aloud.
So good.
Is it this one? Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I wished I could live here forever, and why couldn't I? I answered my own question. Duty, destiny, fate, whatever you want to call it. I had to fix the world. My fate was decided long ago.
Oh, so good. I hope that was the last one because that felt like a very final thought.
Mm-hmm.
Or there could be another last one, which we'd also like to hear then. There are some great pieces. Cass Morin, I saw you got some props in the chat also because it was awesome. Amy stood and threw her hands out as she turned a neat circle. Look around, Sarah. Disease, war, famine. You can't stop us because you've already lost. We're already here. So is that the bad guy sounding not so bad? Because it sounds pretty rough. Disease, war, and famine.
Maybe he's saying like, come on, we're
on,
already here.
man.
Yeah.
Like, what you gonna do, man? Like, hijinks.
Yes. All right. I liked one of Melanie Hannon's. We may not have a telepathic link, but we're pretty darn close.
Pretty darn close.
I like it.
It's like what's happening right here. Right here. We're telepathically.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We've been
And
having
by
these
Google Chat.
conversations.
That's why we're laughing.
Why'd you tell them our secret?
I keep giving away secrets and plot twists today. Amanda Weaver said she was the reason for all of this. Her father was the reason my brother was dead. I stared at the girl in front of me, the one man's whole world tied up in a chair. Okay, I'm sorry. That it took me a second to realize what that meant because somehow I was picturing just the absolute significance of a chair instead of a person sitting in a chair.
Right, like it's all tied up.
It's all tied up
chair.
in like a throne, like that
right.
one chair.
Not like someone's literally
in the
tied
chair.
to a chair.
Okay, that was my whoop over my head.
All right, with our couple minutes left, we should probably get to our last sprint.
Right.
We are loving all the creativity and word counts and everything that's flying at us. So our last one is the love it list. And we'll give you 5 minutes here for this last sprint. Create a list of things that you love about your novel and why you love them. 5 minutes.
Bless you.
All right, 1 minute left. We're just gonna dance for the rest of the time. Okay.
You topped it with the water boogie.
Yeah, gotta do it.
Do some rock lobster. But
You can't beat that one.
no,
That's good.
aqua boogie killed me. Okay. Before we get to the heartfelt ones, it looks like a lot of people who haven't chimed in yet threw down some excerpts from the last prompt,
Mhm.
and some of them are amazing. All of them are amazing. What am I saying? You guys are great. Jane Marie wrote 117 words, said, I'm going to butcher it. Ephraim stared into Micah's eyes, searching for any kind of mischief, but he found nothing except something else that made him feel uneasy. Honesty. Whether it is good or bad, he couldn't tell. And Annika Clark, it just irks me the way he plugs his opinion cord into the fact outlet. That's great. I recommended an author to you. You should really look at his work because he's my favorite. And he writes about things like agreement clusters.
Oh my.
Yeah. Which is what that made me think of.
Got it.
Bobo Bottle shared the last words if you want to read them.
Yeah. So, Bobo Bottle's last words of their story.
Yeah.
Before I dreamt of a life where I would be loved and people would take me seriously for once, I dreamed of adventure and magic. Sometimes dreams really do come true. Oh, love it. So inspiring.
I love how you guys are sharing about being shaped by your writing and by your novels themselves, and about, writing things you would want to be reading, and how, it does fill that void in your literary life and the rest of it. Sarah Hagman says, it was like a face streaked with dried tears that had stopped, not because the raw ache was gone, but because there was not enough water in the world to express the hurt. And that was part of a much longer piece, a one post longer piece. But now I can't read them out of order, sorry. But it was great.
Yeah. I really like this one little tidbit that Sun Wukong EX dropped, saying that the fact that their novel was inspired by them seeing a cat catch and eat a fish.
That's so cool.
That's awesome.
And was that also the same individual who said that this would be a cartoon hangover?
I think
because
so.
That is
So
such
cool.
a good idea. And that's exactly what camp is for just any kind of creative pursuit. It's all based on story. Annie Wu says, I tell them of my dreams about the way humans are so different from us. Sometimes the entire sea shakes from our happiness. Far above us, the day darkens, and I know we are about to part very, very soon. And on that note, I think that this virtual write-in is coming to an end. It's been a great time.
Yeah.
Somebody won on our watch, which is so cool. There's still one more virtual write-in of camp. It's next Thursday, this Thursday, the one that's coming this week.
2 days from now.
It is at 11 p.m. Pacific Dateline time.
11 a.m.
I am just, ugh. Will you say those things over again and make sure that everybody hears them correctly at least once?
One more virtual write-in this Thursday, 11 a.m. Pacific time. I'm
just not going to speak. Finish it up.
Thanks for joining us, guys. I'm Maya. Again, this is Lauren. Well, do you want to talk about potential wrap-up dates overlapping?
Oh, yes. So if you win before the next write-in, come hang out anyway because we love your faces. And also, it's probably going to be about tone and some more wrapping up. And that's it. We've run out of words. I've got my feet in my mouth. And
bye.
It's been great.